Hello. Do you find it difficult sometimes to talk to your German hotel guests? Well, this is where I come in. My name's Andreas, or as my pupils like to call me, Deutschmann. And I will teach you exactly how to speak with your German hotel guests. And how am I going to do that? By presenting you sample dialogue, which is typical for your workplace. And the best part is, you don't need to know anything about German or language learning at all at this point. All you need is a notebook, a pen, and a pencil. So, let's jump right in. The most important dialogue situation, of course, is the check-in, because every hotel guest has to go through that. So let's start with that. And here we have our first phrase, Willkommen im Hotel Royal. Now, this is the point where you pick up your notebook and you write down what you see on the screen. And you should use pen, and you should use the second line, not the first. The reason for that is that you want to write down not only what you see on the screen, but also the right pronunciation and the translation. And now for the pronunciation. Listen very carefully. Willkommen im Hotel Royal. Now I want you to write this in pencil on top of the phrase. Are you done? Very good. Now let's go for the translation. This should be an easy one. Welcome to the Hotel Royal. Now, why did I mark these three words together? Because there's a lot of grammar in the background which I won't teach you, because basically you don't want to learn it anyway. You want to communicate, you don't want to study German. So just underline these three words so that you know that they are working together as a group, and write your translation in pencil below the phrase. Okay, when you're finished, then we can move on to the next phrase. Now, of course, we will speed up the process a little bit now that you're familiar with it. So let's move on. Ihren Reisepass bitte. Your passport, please. Ich habe nur einen Personalausweis. I have only an identity card. Kein Problem. No problem. Ein Personalausweis genügt. An identity card is enough. Now here's an interesting question. If you compare your notes, then you will see that prior you had the expression einen Personalausweis, where further down the line you only had ein Personalausweis. So which is the right one? Is there a typo or stuff? Actually, everything is correct. This is grammar in the background, and as I told you before, I don't want to burden you with grammar just now, especially if you're a beginner. What is important for you is just to use in the phrases that you will be using actively with your clients, that you will just use the right endings. So you just learn the phrase and you will be fine. Moving on. Hier, bitte. Here, please. Danke sehr. Thank you very much. Ihr Name ist Ingrid Maier. Now you notice that here at the end we have a question mark. And it is very important at this stage that your pronunciation is correct and then your voice is going up at the end of the sentence. So it is, Ihr Name ist Ingrid Maier. So you really hear the question. Your name is Ingrid Maier. Ja, richtig. Yes, right. Sehr gut. Very good. Sie haben Zimmer 228. You have room 228. Now, presumably you have more than one room, so it's probably prudent for you to learn the numbers. So let's go about them. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now with these you can actually express all the numbers that are essential for your hotel. Okay, usually you want to tell people where to find their rooms, so das ist im 2. Stock. That is on the 2nd floor. Now, in case the room is not on the 2nd floor, what shall we do? Here's the answer. Instead of im 2., you can also use im 1. on the 1st floor, im 3. on the 3rd floor, im 4. on the 4th floor, and so on. Basically, what you need to do if you are working in a hotel much bigger than 4 floors, you just take the number and you add the syllable 10, and you'll be fine. So it would be im 5., im 6., im 7., im 8., and so on. Hier ist Ihre Schlüsselkarte. Here is your key card. Now, if your hotel doesn't provide key cards but actual keys, then you would use Ihr Schlüssel, your key. Mit dieser Karte aktivieren Sie auch den Fernseher. With this card, you activate also the TV set. Now, every hotel is different, and that means that you need probably a slightly different version. For example, instead of activating the TV set, you might activate the electricity. So that would be den Strom, the electricity. Und hier haben Sie eine Broschüre. And here you have a brochure. Hier stehen die wichtigsten Informationen über das Hotel. Okay, that was a bit too much, wasn't it? Okay, once again. Hier stehen die wichtigsten Informationen über das Hotel. Here stand, well, actually it doesn't really mean stand, it means are written. So you probably want to write down are written instead of stand. But don't be surprised if I use the same word later in another video, for example, and it actually means stand. It's just a German thing. Germans believe that something that is written is actually standing upright for some reason. Okay, once again. Here are written the most important informations about the hotel. Okay, so we are about 2/3 down on the dialogue, and maybe this is a good point to take a little break, maybe have a coffee, and if you think that what I have done so far is helpful for you, and if you want more of the same content, I would invite you to subscribe to this channel. Thanks a lot. It's very appreciated and actually helps to maintain this channel, because the truth is, making and editing these videos is taking up a lot of my time, and I need at least 100 subscribers to produce another video. So your help is important. Thanks a lot. Moving on, this time our customer actually has a question. Ist da auch eine Karte drin? Is there also a map inside? And of course there is. Ja, in der Mitte der Broschüre. Yes. In the middle of the brochure. Benötigen Sie sonst noch etwas? Do you need anything else? Nein, danke. Das ist alles. No. Thanks. That is all. Okay, here comes a big one. Prima. Dann wünsche ich Ihnen einen schönen Aufenthalt bei uns. Now that might be a little big bite to choose, so I have a suggestion for you. Just use the words prima and einen schönen Aufenthalt, because they are the core of the expression, the core of what you want to communicate, which is basically excellent, a beautiful stay. Now let's have a look at the rest. Excellent. Then I wish you a beautiful stay with us. So let's do this one more time. Prima. Dann wünsche ich Ihnen einen schönen Aufenthalt bei uns. And of course, if you manage to do this sentence right at the first day at the office, that would be terrific. But as I said, just say something like, Prima, dann einen schönen Aufenthalt. And if you do this with a little smile, you will just be fine. Und wenn Sie etwas brauchen, sagen Sie uns einfach Bescheid. Okay, once again. Und wenn Sie etwas brauchen, sagen Sie uns einfach Bescheid. And if you something need, you tell us simply. So, in conclusion, and if you need anything, just tell us. That is the phrase. And I know it looks a little bit more complicated than that. Just try it out a few times, and the first time a German customer picks up on that and smiles, I think you are just there where you want to be. So, for example, his response or her response would be, Danke, das mache ich. Thanks. That I do. Auf Wiedersehen. Goodbye. So we are at the end of this dialogue, and if you liked what you saw, then I would suggest that you take your time and give me a thumbs up. That would really be a nice thing, because I can't hear your applause. That's the problem. And also I encourage you to write me any questions you might have regarding this dialogue, and of course any comments on how I can improve this show. So, thanks for watching and have a good one.